Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more WWE 2k16 Universe Mode. My name is BrendenPlayz, and we're here with this week's Monday Night Raw, and we're currently 3 weeks away from the Payback pay-per-view. We already know a couple of big matches that will be headlining Payback already, so if you want to check out the current Payback card, as we're kind of figuring it all out, check out the website BrendenPlayz.com. It'll have the Payback card so far on the page over there. But this week on Raw, Ziggler continues his struggle. He needs to win 3 in a row. He won last week, so this is his second matchup. He'll be versing CESARO here tonight. Of course, if Ziggler wins all 3 matches, he gets a WWE Championship match. If he loses one at any point, whoever he loses to gets a title shot against Ziggler at Payback. It's all on the line. It's huge stakes. Primetime players in action coming up against the Hall of Destruction, Mark Henry and Kane. Big opportunity there for the PTP to show us what they're made of here on Raw. Tag team action as well as the Bella Twins. They're in action coming up against Tamina and Naomi. Naomi's looking to try to build a bit more momentum heading in towards Payback as well. She'll be facing Sasha Banks, of course, at Payback. Batista will meet Victor one-on-one here tonight on Raw. He'll have Jericho in his corner, and Connor will be in Victor's corner. Tyson Kidd in action as well, coming up against Rusev, who has been unstoppable as of late. Big opportunity there for Tyson Kidd to pick up a singles win. And now main event. Well, it's going to be a bit of friendly fire, I suppose. Both matchups for Payback. Triple H and Dean Ambrose, they're competing against each other at Payback. They're teaming up here tonight to take on the other matchup, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, who also will be having a matchup which was announced on the website earlier this week. So that should be a good one. We'll wait and see how that one pans out later on. So Primetime Players versus Hall of Destruction. It is the Hall of Destruction picking up another victory. Elimination Tag Team matchup against the Bellas versus Tamina and Naomi. It is going to be Naomi picking up the win. One-on-one between Batista and Victor. Batista picks up the win. I guess the Beast Code very close to getting themselves a tag team title opportunity. And Rusev picks up the win over Tyson Kidd as well. So we'll go ahead and see how Dolph Ziggler fares against the Swiss Superman, CESARO. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, here comes the former tag team champion and one half of the team of CESARO and Kidd. It is going to be CESARO, an opportunity for him tonight to show us what he can do as a singles competitor. Many of you guys have been wondering, when is CESARO going to finally make the transition from a tag team superstar to a single star? Well, he's slowly making that transition. Last week, a good victory, no doubt about that one. So CESARO showing us that he's capable of picking up the important victories when it counts. And as a single star, well, he's a little bit unproven as of late. But hey, you beat Dolph Ziggler, you get yourself an opportunity at the US title at Payback. No bigger matchup right now for the Swiss Superman. And as we wait, here comes the champion. We are waiting for him to come out, and wait no more. Here he is, Dolph Ziggler. And I tell you what, this guy just keeps on fighting and fighting. No matter what The Rock throws at him, Ziggler just keeps on hitting it out of the park. Ziggler just keeps on going, but tonight could be the final stop for Dolph Ziggler. If he cannot beat CESARO, then he will defend that US title around his waist right now against CESARO at Payback, and his opportunity and his dream of becoming a WWE champion will once again be put on hold. Ziggler, well, rightfully so, deserved an opportunity at Extreme Rules, but it was taken away from him by the hands of Rusev, who of course was kind of ordered by The Rock to kind of do that. So now Ziggler is kind of wondering what's next, you know, how am I going to get myself this opportunity again? Well, he knows that he has to beat all 3 of his competitors over the next, well, started last week, this week, and of course next week. And Ziggler can win tonight. He'll have one more to go. We don't exactly know who that is going to be. The Rock hasn't really shared any information on who he's picking. But obviously he saw CESARO last week pick up a good victory, and maybe he sees something in CESARO. And we know The Rock is... The whole reason why this situation is going on is because The Rock is not exactly thrilled that Ziggler is becoming one of the top stars here on Raw. So perhaps he sees CESARO perhaps as a top star, and instead he's opting to give CESARO this opportunity. We'll have to wait and see. Is CESARO now looking to pick up Ziggler? And a nice suplex. And a good start here by the Swiss Superman, who obviously has been a tag team champion throughout Universe Mode and lost it at WrestleMania. So Cesaro kind of regrouping himself. I mean, Tyson Kidd and Cesaro, yeah, they kind of, you know, had a bit of a rough patch, I suppose. Extreme Rules unable to pick up the victory as well. So many kind of believing that these two guys could be heading towards a split. I don't see that as the case, but I think Cesaro might be just a little bit bored as the tag team division. I think he's kind of been there, done that. Perhaps he's just kind of see and test the waters a little bit, see how he goes against the likes of a Dolph Ziggler here tonight. As Ziggler has that knee into the back of Cesaro right now. The count of 3 outside the ring. There will be countouts. Of course, if Ziggler does lose by a countout, then he will be defending that title against Cesaro at Payback. It doesn't matter if it's pinfall or submission. Any type of result is all that matters. And I suppose, I don't know what's going to happen if it's a draw, but at the moment we probably won't be needing to worry about that one because it's Cesaro in there with a double axe handle. Now he's working away on the chin and the neck of Dolph Ziggler, that jaw region. And that is not good news for Dolph Ziggler right there. So Cesaro waiting for Ziggler to get back to his feet. Hits him with a big right hand. Now Ziggler going to fight back and takes down Cesaro. And here comes Dolph Ziggler. Yes! Connects nicely. Ziggler has held that title since SummerSlam. I think he officially became the longest reigning champion in Universe Mode history. Very, very impressive by Dolph Ziggler. But yet, The Rock still believes Ziggler is not good enough to take that next step. And, you know, I myself am wondering, how will Dolph Ziggler fare when he finally gets his title shot? Will Ziggler be ready for it? Will Ziggler be good enough to pick up the win? Only time will tell. And we don't know if he'll even get that opportunity. As Cesaro taking down Ziggler very, very well. And he's waiting for Ziggler to get back to his feet. Cesaro, one of the most, I suppose, cheered or, you know, big fan favorite tag team, of course, of Tyson Kidd. Many of the fans, big fans of Cesaro. And that's why they want to see him kind of step up. And this is really just a battle of respect and a battle of trying to determine who is the better out of the two. And I think Cesaro, you know, you go back when he was on SmackDown a couple of years ago, Cesaro almost became a breakout superstar on SmackDown. He became so close, but just didn't quite reach that pinnacle. You know, at the time, Ryback was the champion, and Ryback was, you know, becoming that top star on SmackDown. Cesaro just, I suppose, the wrong place at the wrong time. And now it's Ziggler with a shot to the midsection of Cesaro. So Cesaro's trying to make sure that history does not repeat itself and to make sure that Ziggler is not the right man and Cesaro is not. Here we go. Super kick. Could be it now. Cesaro in trouble. And he does kick out. That super kick was right on the button and Ziggler attempted drop kick and he's missed it. Cesaro's gotten himself out of the way. And no, Ziggler countering. And now Cesaro in real strife. Cesaro, do not get up. You're not going to like what happens next. And no, a counter there by Cesaro. And he had to counter because the zigzag was about to come. And if Ziggler hits the zigzag, it is all but over. Cesaro saving the match for himself. There's no doubting that one. And a stomp to the back of the leg there. So that zigzag almost happening. Cesaro has to be careful. DDT. Taking him down now. And Ziggler going to continue the assault by working away on that torso region with a stomp. Cesaro now, clothesline. And he kind of launched everything he had at Ziggler there. And Cesaro a little bit desperate right now. You can see, oh, uppercut! Nothing desperate about that one. I thought Cesaro was just about to go in, you know, desperation mode to try and do whatever it took to win the matchup. But that uppercut did it very nicely. But only a count of 2 as Ziggler, who has been so difficult to beat ever since SummerSlam, when everything kind of clicked and he won that title, Ziggler has been unstoppable. And, oh, a right hand there to the midsection of Ziggler. Cesaro and Ziggler haven't exactly faced each other all that much over the course of Ziggler's title reign, if at all. So this is a big challenge for Ziggler, something different for him, as now he's got Cesaro up and he takes him down. Okay, Ziggler now has the headlock applied, and, oh, he's going to show off a little bit. He hasn't exactly done all that much of showing off over his title reign, and there's been probably a reason for that. Perhaps the showing off wasn't exactly working for him. He's kind of put that to rest a little bit, and things are starting to work out a little bit better for him. And Cesaro still working away in this matchup, gets out of that head scissors, and very luckily so. And now, hang on, Cesaro's got a hold of Ziggler, and oh, taken down, Ziggler countering. So Cesaro, everything he's kind of throwing at Ziggler is getting countered or just isn't connecting effectively to put Ziggler away. It's a close matchup, there's no doubting that, and Ziggler kicks up as well, and that is the vintage show-off, that is Dolph Ziggler. Every now and then he likes to bring it out and just remind us how damn good he is, and perhaps a bit of a message to The Rock in the back and all the other competitors lining up to face Ziggler perhaps next week if he can get through Cesaro, but that's a big if because Cesaro certainly still is in it. But, oh, wait a minute, Ziggler might be looking for that zigzag. Cesaro, look out! No, instead, goes for the sleeper hold. Ziggler, sleeper hold applied. Now Cesaro, he has to get to the ropes. I don't think he's going to get there. Cesaro in real trouble. And he doesn't tap out and Ziggler releases the hold. But has the damage been done? The sleeper hold, very effective. And Cesaro now picks up Ziggler and takes him down. Well, I'll tell you what, that is exactly what Cesaro needed. A moment of separation in this one and an opportunity to get himself back in this matchup. Perhaps the sleeper hold was not the right decision by Ziggler. Perhaps the zigzag was the right one. And Ziggler making the wrong choice. Cesaro, look at the power and strength of Cesaro. Oh, taking down Ziggler. That is as good as it gets from Cesaro. The power and strength that this man has is inhuman. And that is why many believe Cesaro has what it takes to succeed as a single superstar. Former United States champion in his own right. There's no doubting Cesaro is very, very good. But for the time being, tag team division has been his main focus as he kicks out again at 2. But perhaps the singles is in the corner of his eye. Cesaro still surviving in this match. He realizes if he beats Ziggler, he finally gets that US title opportunity that he's been craving for a long time. And oh, Ziggler now going to head to the top rope. He missed the move he was going to go for. Instead, he's just going to continue the momentum, look to go to the top rope. But I think he's about to make a mistake as Cesaro. What's he thinking about now? He's got those arms hooked. Look out, Ziggler in real trouble with that suplex off the top. Now that might be the move to win this match for Cesaro. But he wasted a little bit of time there. And I don't even think he's going to go for the pinfall. And Ziggler instead makes him pay. Cesaro, I think, could have had the match won if he went for the cover. He didn't do it, though. Big mistake made there by Cesaro. Of course, this is not a tag team match, Cesaro. He's all by himself. Perhaps he needed the break. I think, competing, for a long time by yourself, after a long time as a tag team superstar can certainly take a lot out of you. And perhaps Cesaro does not have enough left in the tank to hang with Dolph Ziggler. But at the moment, Cesaro wondering, what's the next move? What can I do next to put Ziggler away? Gets an elbow to the jaw, though. And Ziggler now takes him down and has that headlock applied. Putting more pressure on the neck region of Cesaro. But will it be enough to make him tap out? The sleeper hold was applied earlier on. It was not enough. Now that, headlock right here on the mat, Cesaro, well, he was certainly in it for a long time. It didn't end up getting Ziggler to win, but how much has it affected Cesaro? Well, we don't know just quite yet. Those axe handles into the corner there of Ziggler doing severe damage there to Dolph. You can see he was grimacing in pain, and now Ziggler has a hold of Cesaro. And Ziggler can't make anything of it, and Cesaro is going to make him pay. No, Ziggler countering, and a shot to the back of the leg. Stumbling Cesaro for a moment there. And a neck breaker to follow it up. And Cesaro could be in some trouble here. Ziggler. Oh no. Here we go. Ziggler gonna line him up here for Cesaro. There's the count of 3, 4, and there's 5. Ziggler, we know he's so effective with these elbow drops. He's done it many a times and won many matches with it. A count of 9. Here comes lucky number 10 right to the chest of Cesaro, and that probably will be it. The cover, 2, and Ziggler wins again. 2 in a row for Dolph. 1 more to go. He survives another night. A tough challenge by Cesaro, but Ziggler showing us why he is the US champion. He survives another huge match. He's just hanging on by a thread. How much more has Ziggler got in the tank? One more big match to go before we know if Ziggler's going to get his title shot at Payback or not, to make it a triple threat matchup between Ambrose, Triple H, and potentially Dolph Ziggler. We don't know who Ziggler will be facing next week, but I'm sure The Rock will have someone lined up for him that is going to give him a run for his money. Cannot wait for the matchup, that is for sure. It was the elbow drops, 10 in a row. Not many men can kick out of 10 brutal elbow drops right to your chest. And Ziggler once again putting another superstar away with it. Very, very effective. Dolph Ziggler picks up the win, and he has one more fight to handle before he gets that opportunity that he's been craving all this time. He got screwed over at Extreme Rules. He's frustrated at The Rock. He's frustrated at the world. He just wants his opportunity. And he certainly earned it. But he just can't seem to get it. Ziggler, big win here tonight. Ziggler celebrating. Hold on, wait a second. That's Rusev. Oh my God, a super kick right to the head of Ziggler. And is that next week's opponent? I think it may be. Rusev sending a message to Ziggler a week in advance. Rusev Ziggler next week. Well, Ziggler has been blindsided by Rusev, kicked right in the head. But we have to move on to our main event here tonight. And here comes Monday Night Raw's WWE Champion. His name is Dean Ambrose. And after a successful title defense at Extreme Rules, we now know that Ambrose will defend against his tag team partner tonight. It will be Ambrose versus Triple H for the WWE Championship. Potentially Ziggler joining them to make it a triple threat. But for now, it's Triple H and Dean Ambrose. And Ambrose tonight will be teaming up with his opponent. His name is Triple H. He is the Game. And I suppose, shocking us all last week by picking up the victory in the Fatal 4-Way matchup, it was Rollins, Reigns, Ryback, and Triple H. And it was the Game walking away with the win. You know, after losing at Extreme Rules, perhaps many of us kind of wrote Triple H out, and perhaps we were kind of looking towards a Ryback or a Seth Rollins to pick up the victory. But as it turned out, it was Triple H picking up the huge win. And now the Game back in the title hunt once again. Maybe for the last time, we don't know. But Triple H ready for a one last big run as the champion. He would love it. And he just needs to get through Dean Ambrose to do it. And tonight he teams up with Ambrose. We'll see if these guys are on the same page. I think they're more likely to be on the same page compared to these two. Here comes the former WWE Champion and one of the longest reigning champions in Universe Mode history, Seth Rollins. So Seth Rollins, we found out he will be going one-on-one against Roman Reigns at Payback. And it really is all about Payback. You go back to WrestleMania, where it was Seth Rollins, he had the match won, he basically had Roman Reigns pinned and was going to beat him. But as it turned out, Rollins didn't get the win. It turned out to be Ambrose picking up the win. But what happened at Extreme Rules, it wasn't Seth Rollins getting the title shot, it was Roman Reigns getting a rematch, despite Rollins, in his own mind, having Reigns beat. And in his own mind, believing he deserved to be the next man in line for the title shot against Dean Ambrose. And Rollins didn't get that opportunity. And now it is going to be Rollins versus Reigns. An opportunity for Seth Rollins to gain a little bit of revenge and just to kind of show us that he was in fact the deserving superstar instead of this man, Roman Reigns, who suffered a tough loss at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view where he went one-on-one. We thought it was going to be a triple threat. It turned into be a one-on-one matchup between Reigns and Ambrose. A great contest between the two. But as it turned out, it was Dean Ambrose coming away with the chocolates, coming away with the W, and still our WWE Champion here on Monday Night Raw, Reigns, wondering what more does he have to do? What does he have to do next to get this title around his waist for the second time? Everybody except for Triple H in this matchup is a former world champion. Reigns winning it at Elimination Chamber, losing it at WrestleMania. Rollins holding it from Night of Champions up until the Elimination Chamber, and now Ambrose has the title around his waist. Triple H searching for his first run as, here we go, ladies and gentlemen, this one is underway. So a lot of history between Ambrose, Rollins, and Reigns, and now Triple H kind of thrown into the mix as well. I suppose Triple H, he's just a guy who's looking to get one more title run and perhaps kind of close out his career on a high. You know, let's face it, Triple H hasn't had all that much success in the ring. There was a period of time where Triple H was very, very successful when he was the, you know, obviously the authority figure here on Monday Night Raw. But it's been a while since Triple H has been in that position. And, of course, returning around Royal Rumble time. And he had that successful, I suppose, rivalry with Ryback. As it turned out, Triple H, in the end, getting the victory over Ryback. You know, Ryback got the last say at Extreme Rules, but Triple H pitting him last week on Raw. Triple H, I suppose, can have the last laugh in the end now that he gets the title match and Ryback does not. So Triple H, his recent comeback has been much more successful for him, and it's been a slow build-up, but Triple H is, I think, in my mind, ready for an opportunity at the WWE Championship as now Reigns enters this matchup. Scoop Slam takes down Triple H. So the question I kind of have for this one, how will these guys all kind of work together? Will we see pinfall breakups? Will we see these guys actively trying to win this matchup and saving their partners from perhaps a potential beatdown? That is going to be interesting. I think all four of these men want to win, but when it comes to the final, you know, moment, maybe they're willing to throw away, you know, the matchup for their, you know, payback opponent to take a big move. Perhaps Reigns is ready to hit the spear on Triple H. Will Ambrose really want to run in there and make sure that he runs interference to make sure that that does not happen? I don't know. There's a double axe handle there off the top rope there by Triple H. Not really seeing much of Triple H off the top rope over the years, but he's capable of doing it when he has to, and that was certainly an instance where he was up there. He might as well do something, right? So now Triple H back to his feet. Roman Reigns has Triple H and going to look for perhaps a power bomb. No, he's got him and takes him down. Perhaps a little bit unorthodox, but certainly very effective is now Reigns looking towards winning this matchup for his team as Triple H does kick out at 2. A bit of a late kick out there by Triple H, perhaps preserving a little bit of energy, just waiting for as much time as he can before having to exert the kick out as now Rollins in this matchup. Now, let's not discredit the tag team work of Reigns and Rollins. You know, these guys, two-time tag team champions with the Shield, the most successful tag team in Universe Mode history, arguably. And I don't think that chemistry just goes away like that. Despite the two not being on the same page, despite the two being frustrated at one another, there's no doubt about it. They've been so successful as a tag team over the years that there has to be an element of teamwork involved. And successful teamwork as Rollins risking it all off the top and gets the miss. As now Ambrose enters this matchup. And Ambrose, I think, is the man that Rollins wants to get his hands on. I think Rollins really believes that he can beat Dean Ambrose when it comes to a title matchup. When it comes to the big stage, the big one, I think Rollins believes that he's better than everybody here on Raw. And I suppose he's, you know, proven that over the past, you know, year or so, where he's been so dominant. You know, former tag champ, former US champ, former WWE champion. Rollins has done it all. And he's looking to win back the title and get his second WWE Championship reign, but Roman Reigns is currently stepping in his way, and potentially Ambrose, Triple H, or Ziggler as well. As now Ambrose rolling Seth Rollins over, and now Ambrose getting slapped away there by Seth Rollins, but Ambrose kind of fighting back with some big right hands there. And that's what Ambrose is all about. He's a bit crazy, he's a bit of a lunatic, but he's willing to throw down with anybody. He doesn't care who you are, how big you are. Ambrose is looking for a fight. As Rollins now, elbow shot there to Ambrose, taking him down. You see Rollins just kind of regathering and regrouping a little bit here, but Ambrose fighting back. So Reigns and Rollins one-on-one at Payback. Triple H and Ambrose one-on-one, potentially at Payback as well. We now know Sasha Banks and Naomi will go one-on-one at Payback as well, and looks as though probably the Beast Code might be the next team in line to take on the Hall of Destruction as well. So that pretty much sums up the Monday Night Raw side of things. Obviously, we don't know what exactly is going to be happening with Dolph Ziggler yet. Will he be competing for the title, or will he be defending his championship? I'm not exactly sure, but we'll find out next week And when we now know he'll be facing Rusev one-on-one next week on Raw. And I don't think that's real much of a surprise. I think The Rock probably had Rusev in his back pocket. Rusev dominating Zack Ryder last week, beating Tyson Kidd this week. So there's no doubt that Rusev is ready for a big matchup against Ziggler. So we'll find out what exactly happens there, and will Ziggler be inserted in this matchup. If he can beat Rusev next week, then it's a triple threat. If not, Ziggler defends at the pay-per-view. As Triple H is now back in the matchup with Roman Reigns right now. So Triple H has a little bit to prove here. I can argue that Reigns and Rollins has been very, very good over the course of past 3 or so months. But Triple H, whilst he got that big victory against Ryback and obviously winning the Fatal 4-Way last week, I still think a lot of people kind of doubt Triple H and whether or not he's good enough to be facing Ambrose at the pay-per-view. So a victory here for Triple H tonight might just prove us wrong a little bit and kind of show us what exactly he can do as he takes down Reigns there. And now again, double A Spinebuster. Now that is generally the build-up towards what is next to come, and that is the pedigree. Triple H looking very good. Will he be looking to put Reigns away? Hook of the arms. Triple H to pit the pedigree. No! Hold on. Reigns countering with the clothesline. Triple H looking to take Reigns down, but Reigns blocked it somehow. That's the power of Reigns. And now Reigns with a Samoan drop. Well, just when you thought Triple H was going to put Reigns away, it all turns around just like that, and now Reigns, the spear! Well, Triple H had the match won, you thought. Now it's Reigns. That is the class, the skill, and the ability of Roman Reigns to win this matchup. No! Triple H gets the shoulder up. Well, that is impressive. Well, I thought for sure Triple H was out of it. He hit the spear. Ambrose couldn't get there for the save. Rollins made sure it didn't happen. And Triple H good enough to kick out at 2, so that is a good sign for Triple H, and worrying signs for Ambrose, because if that Dirty Deeds cannot find the 3 count, I don't know what Ambrose can do to put Triple H away, as now off the top, Triple H with a suplex! And that is well executed there. Now, hook of the leg, this might be it now for Triple H, trying to turn the course of this matchup, like Roman Reigns did with that suplex, unfortunately not picking up the 3 count again, as Rollins and Ambrose were kind of throwing down to the outside region there near the ringside barricade and the steel steps. Now Ambrose back on their apron. I think Rollins is kind of heading over there as well. So this one, just kind of a bit of a bitter rivalry between all 4 men, and they all want the same thing. They all want to be the WWE Champion, and they're all willing to do whatever it takes to go and get that title. They're all willing to go through each other, beat the hell out of each other to get there, and that's what it's all about here on Monday Night Raw. As now Ambrose, he took down Reigns, but Reigns this time he takes down Ambrose. A shot to the midsection, and oh, what a stiff right hand there to Ambrose, takes him down. Ambrose is flat on his back, and here comes the tag. Seth Rollins back in there, and I know Seth Rollins itching at the bit to get his hands on Ambrose again. Those two kind of had a bit of a battle outside the ring here. Now they can bring it in the ring. Uh-oh. Rollins! Big kick right to the button of Dean Ambrose. Well, what about that kick? This could be it now. Referee, he's right there looking to put it away. Not quite yet, though, as Seth Rollins has to go back to the drawing board. The kick not enough to put Ambrose away. Now Ambrose, hold on a second. Ambrose looking for that powerbomb. And he connects. Ambrose has won matches with the powerbomb in the past. This could be it for Seth Rollins. But Rollins, good enough to kick Ambrose away and perhaps saving the match for himself. Reigns gets himself back in there with the tag. So like we said, I actually thought Reigns and Rollins would struggle to kind of communicate here tonight, but I think like we've said, this is all about a common goal, all wanting to beat Ambrose. So I think they're willing to put their differences aside for that common goal, as Reigns with a Superman punch to Dean Ambrose. And now that has connected, and that may be it. Triple H, I don't think he's going to get there in time. Ambrose has to kick out, and he does. He just barely kicked out at 2. Triple H was taken out by Rollins. So a good bit of communication there by Reigns and Rollins, but still Ambrose impressive enough, and that's why he's the champion, able to kick out, and now he's going to hit that powerbomb on Reigns. Hook of the leg now. Reigns could be in some trouble. And Reigns will just kick out again. He powers out, really. And now Reigns back to his feet. With a counter there to Ambrose. Reigns with a Superman punch before generally means the spear is not too far away. Will we see it from Reigns? And will the spear be enough to beat Dean Ambrose? It was not enough to beat Triple H. But can it put Dean Ambrose away? Our current WWE Champion. Ambrose in the corner. Reigns with a boot right to the chin and the neck region. And that's what Reigns is all about. He doesn't care anymore. You know, he used to be a guy who wanted to play by the rules, satisfy and please the fans, but now he no longer cares about what anyone thinks about him. And Ambrose kicking out at 2. Oh, wait a minute. Rollins kind of flying off the top rope there. He missed everything. And so, Seth Rollins, I don't know what he's trying to do there, but spine buster there by Ambrose on Reigns. Meanwhile, back in the ring. Hook of the leg now. Both men trying to get there in time, but it won't matter because Reigns has kicked out on his own accord. Now, Reigns back to his feet. Coming back after Ambrose again. Oh! Went for the spear! But Dean Ambrose countering. And that has saved the match for Dean Ambrose. Reigns wanting to go for that spear really out of nowhere. Just kind of launching himself at Ambrose. But Ambrose was ready. And now, here we go. Dirty Deeds! It's got to be over. Reigns. It's over now. The cover. And it's... No! Reigns is kicked out. Are you kidding me? How the hell has Reigns kicked out of the Dirty Deeds? It wasn't Triple H or Rollins. They were both trying to get there in time. Both just a tad too slow. But Reigns kicks out of the Dirty Deeds. This match continues. Now the submission hold. The submission now on Ambrose. And Reigns... no. Gets countered there by Ambrose, who gets taken down. And now... Ambrose trying to continue the assault, but it's Reigns. He has Ambrose in the corner. Now Ambrose puts Reigns in there. Reigns with a counter. It's back and forth right now. And Rollins and Triple H still battling each other on the outside. They've kind of been at it for the last couple minutes now. Rollins there looking for a tag, perhaps now, as Ambrose coming after Reigns. A shot there to Roman Reigns. Now Ambrose gets countered by Reigns himself. Reigns. Uh-oh. He's got Ambrose up. We saw this earlier on. Now he's still got the shoulders down. Both legs are hooked. Triple H is nowhere to be found. And Roman Reigns has pinned Dean Ambrose. Well, Triple H, where the hell was he? He was not there to break it up. And Reigns was launching everything he had at Dean Ambrose, as was Ambrose to Reigns. But it turns out that both shoulders were down. Both legs, the pressure that was applied to the neck of Ambrose was too much to handle. He couldn't kick out, and Reigns picks up a massive victory before Payback. We just thought for a moment that Reigns was just slipping down a little bit. That stranglehold that he's had here on Monday Night Raw was just slipping away through his fingers. But now, Reigns, with a victory over the champion tonight, just goes to show that Reigns is just as good as ever. And he picks up a win over Ambrose. And now at Payback, it will be Rollins and Reigns one-on-one. Perhaps the winner will face the next champion. So here it was. Triple H did try and get in the ring here. But you can see there was a moment where Triple H could have perhaps got himself involved. And now, after the matchup, Ambrose is not happy. He wants to know what the hell happened. Why didn't you come help? And Triple H, well, he tells him to suck it. Well, there you go. Gives him the chop, tells him where to go. Triple H, he doesn't care. He just wants that title. And we'll find out who will be our champion after Payback. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much again for joining us for another episode of Monday Night Raw. If you did enjoy it, smash the like button for me as well. And of course, subscribe if you haven't already to keep up to date with everything Universe Mode. I'm going to be doing a lot more Universe Mode episodes in the next coming weeks, so stay tuned for that. I apologize for the lack of uploads. Sorry, not sorry, but hey, I'm going to be doing some more videos for you guys coming up very soon. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.